Hey everybody, welcome to Game Rambling episode 55. I'm Cyrus Martin.
And I'm Picky Old Gamer.
We have had a little bit of trouble maintaining a schedule lately. There's been a lot of things going on, and
Work.
yeah.
My work's finally getting busy again, and I'm just like, I have no time. I don't even make videos.
Yeah, I was just talking to Picky Old Gamer a second ago off the air about my situation, which is kind of strange. Like, I've been more active in other people's chats because of the way my job is. I'm able to go in other people's chat rooms and basically spend hours in there in the middle of the night. But during, like, I'm at work all the time. I'm working crazy hours. So that's one of the things we're going to talk about today is we'll bring it up now, and then we'll probably talk about it at the end of the show too. So we're probably going to have to take a break from doing this show for a while because I have to work. They're going to have us work and have me working 7 days a week for a while anyway, and the hours are pretty weird, so it makes it really difficult to be able to do shows at a time that works for everybody. I can still do things, but it would have to be at like 4 a.m. or I don't know, before I go to work, which
Most people don't do that. Yeah, I mean, it's just a strange schedule.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird right now. So this will be not our last show, but it'll probably be the last one we do for a little while because we're going to have to figure this all out and, come up with some kind of a strategery that works for doing a show. What have you been up to, man? What's been going on with you other than work?
Work. I mean, my projects that I'm on now, they move me around on, just started getting more just busy. I was sitting there not doing much either, and I was throwing some videos out there. Last week I put a handful of videos out, and then it's just like, oh yeah, we finally got work now. We're ready. I'm like, okay, and that's all I'm doing.
Hey Ryan, and first name last name, welcome to the chat. Glad to have you here.
Yep. So I want to do, and there's some of this stuff on the news, gaming news. I just don't give a shit.
Yeah, there's been some interesting things that I've seen.
The Walmart Super NES Classic thing. Everybody also pretty much lost their shit when they all canceled them. And I was like, guys, they're going to have to cancel them. They fucked up and put them out early.
Yeah.
It's not right. It sucks. And Walmart needs to just eat a dick because they had to do that. But don't pre-order from them anymore. But everybody's like, why are they doing that? I'm like, they have to. Your pre-order was not right. I mean, I hate that it had to affect the gamers, but I woke up and looked at my phone. I'm like, well, fuck, I didn't get a chance to pre-order. It's not fair to everybody else.
Do you think it's possible that little pre-order thing that happened, which they said was a mistake, do you think it's possible this was like a way to gauge interest?
Probably.
They were like trying to find out who all... like how many people might actually pre-order from them or whatever.
Maybe, but good job for them. They're going to turn around and have people not even want to pre-order from Walmart at all, and people will just be like, you know what, fuck you. And then they're like, what happened? Where's their pre-orders at? Well, they'll probably people hit them last or something. It's supposed to, that's a little bit of news. It's not something I care to make a whole video about, but they're supposed to be pre-ordering sometime this month.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, great. But I'll try. If I don't, whatever.
I'm not that concerned about it. I mean, I hope I can get one. And really the only reason is for that damn Star Fox, because I really want the legit Star Fox too. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. My cats are playing with my blinds over here. I had something funny happen. Was it yesterday? Day before yesterday? I can't remember. I went to the mailbox to get our mail, and there's this dumpster over in that vicinity at the apartment complex. And sitting over by the dumpster, I'm going to expand this so everybody can see it. Sitting over by the dumpster were these two TVs, these two CRTs, these 20-inch.
I saw that back there. I'm like, what all you got?
They're not like the best brands, Symphonic and Emerson, but dude, they work great. The picture on them is amazing.
Well, it's just a big clunky thing to some people, and they don't want it.
Yeah, but these are only 20-inch though, so I'm like, that's like the perfect size, right? Like for like setting up, putting a game system on. Like I'm gonna put one of them here next to my computer so I can play my Intellivision Classic on it. But I'm like, I don't even know what I'm gonna do like with these. Like, but still, I was like, fuck, free 20-inch CRTs. There's gonna come a time where you can't
be available.
Yeah, you can't get them. There's gonna be a time where they're just. Right now, people literally just throw them away like that. But one of these days, man, those things are going to be worth something. And maybe they're not. Maybe they won't be worth a lot, but they'll be worth something to people like you and me, people that that would like to have something like that. So I was like, I actually had thought about buying a 19-inch or whatever, but I was like, man, what are the odds? And these things are like almost the same TV. They look almost identical, which is
it's
very
getting
strange.
to the point where if you do look for them, they're pretty damn not expensive, but you can spend $100 and you're like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the weight of them costs enough to ship around if you had to get them. So
they don't have component, but they do have S-Video, which is still really good.
Yeah.
Which I was kind of surprised they even had that. I'm like, most 20 inches that I've seen, if they have anything, it's just composite and, coax. But S-Video, I was like, oh, that's pretty good. I mean, I'm not going to use them. I have my big CRT I use for all my major stuff, but like, pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Cool.
So, anyway, so I guess we could kind of talk about other news related stuff before we kind of go into our predictions and stuff. There's been this back and forth drama about the Sega Genesis HD.
It's either shit or it's not shit or it's a little bit of shit. I don't know. I'm wanting to see. I don't know. That one takes cartridges, right?
Yes. Okay. The latest I've heard is At Games put out a statement saying that some of the test units, some of the prototype units that were sent out to be reviewed were not finished. They were not representative of the final product. And so maybe this explains why we're getting completely different feedback from different YouTubers. I mean, Dreamcast guy and John Hancock said it's amazing. They said that they had a couple little complaints, but like as far as emulation and all that, they were like, no, it's great, it's amazing. But then all these major sites pick it apart and basically rip them a new one. Of course, Rich from Review Tech USA has a fucking hard on for he hates that game, so he wants to shit all over them no matter what they do. He hasn't even seen it or tested it himself, and he's put out 2-3 videos attacking them. So I'm like, whatever.
That's when I stopped watching Rich Review Tech USA. He was kind of a dumbass. So I'm like, nope, you're okay. I'm good.
Well, I mean,
shit.
I kind of understand, and I'm not talking about necessarily him because you're right, he is kind of a dumbass, but I kind of understand the apprehension about it because we look at the history of At Games with the Sega Genesis, and there's been a problem. But the reason that doesn't float this year is because this is not the same type of system. This is emulation. This is not a system on a chip. It's a different ball game completely. So I'm not really ready to make any kind of personal proclamations about it because, dude, I don't even know. All I know is two people that I have trusted their opinions have told me that it's good. Okay? And then a bunch of people who I don't even know if they've really played the system have told me it sucks. So I'm like, I don't know what to think. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I think some of these reviewers that
they do it because they want to cause shit, and they do it because they're paid, and they do it because we're going to do this. Is it a good system? How close to Genesis Gen 1? Let's just say Gen 1, Gen 2 pretty much it. I think Gen 3 actually didn't it have issues, even Gen 3 back in the day when it was still cartridges. So tell us how Gen 1 and Gen 2 does it stack up. Okay, 95, 98%. That's good. How's the sound? Okay, how's the cartridges? Works great. And what the fuck is your problem?
I'm not sure, man.
If there's shit problems with it, there's shit problems with it.
Yeah. I don't know what to think. I really don't. I mean, it looks pretty cool. I like the idea of it. I like, those wireless controls and HDMI, and, it's got Master System games. It actually has the original Phantasy Star on there. I was like, damn, really? So it's got all the Phantasy Stars. I was like, shit. So it's, I don't know, man. Like, I want to see it myself before I make, like, some kind of, like, definitive, like, statement about it. And everybody, I mean, that's ridiculous to review a system that you haven't ever even played, or that you've just seen like other people's stuff of it. It's like, come on, how can you? I don't know, man. It just seems.
That's why I started going away from some bigger YouTubers. I know I started going through Boogie2988 just because he kind of never did. He wasn't focusing on gaming, but I know recently he just had surgery for his stomach to help him lose weight. I'm really curious. I'm probably going to reach out to see how everything's doing, but he got to the point he never will take a stand on anything. I'm not saying you have to take a stand, but I kind of like, okay, dude, you are really sitting on the fence about stuff. And some people will say, let's don't judge this, let's don't judge that. And everybody's been on Angry Joe's case. Angry Joe,
no shit,
off for 2 months, and they're pissed off. I need this. They take 200 hours to do some of his videos, and he pays people. He has quote unquote employees, and I might make a video for it. You know what? For even somebody like me or you that have normal, and I say normal, nothing wrong with having a YouTube job full time, but normal full time jobs, to put some of this stuff out, do these type of shows like this, it takes time.
Yeah.
It's just like, it takes time. It takes me, I've done video, I have to edit the pictures to make them look good. I'm using some GIMP now. It looks a little bit better. Then I got to record it to make sure my audio's right, put it in there, edit it together, double check it, render it, pull it out, watch the beginning intro, because I got an intro, I got a transition, I got an alpha overlay, I got transition out, alpha overlays, and all that stuff, and double check it, go, fuck, I forgot something. Go change it, re-render it, upload it, and then you have to start putting all the stuff in, the annotations at the end, all that shit in YouTube, and monetization right, and all the tags, and then finally you're done and ready to post it. Oh, yeah. I want to post it on VidMe. God damn it, I have to do it again. And it takes, I need to go into my comment section, comments, and keep up with people. Sometimes I'll lag a week or so, but I try to go back and discuss with people. It's not easy. And when somebody at his caliber, that's a lot of work.
Plus, you don't know everything that's been going on behind the scenes. That's the other thing. We don't know.
Yeah, but I want to take time off. Yeah. I don't like that. Go fuck yourself. He pay his bills. Go do everything else. Then you can tell him what to do.
What I didn't like was how everybody was dogpiling. Like, it was like all these YouTubers decided, ooh, blood in the water, blood in the water. I better make my Angry Joe attack video now. And it was like, I don't understand that mob mentality of like, oh, he's, we see weakness, time to attack, go for the jugular, let's see if we can ruin this YouTuber. What the fuck is up with that? Why do people, what is this fascination with, like, trying to fuck with the people that we say we like? There's like, oh, we spend all this time on YouTube. I love YouTube. I love watching YouTube videos. But as soon as one of them looks like he's got a weakness, I'm going to join in and we're going to fuck that dude over. Because that's what, I'm really only interested in entertaining myself at everyone's expense. Fuck them.
Yeah, I don't get this. It's like chopping somebody down, chopping them at the knees to make yourself feel better. It really just, I don't get it. I don't get it.
We're not going to get it because, you know, I don't know, man. Like, I've thought about this a lot lately. You know, I had that little incident that happened to me 3 weeks ago, and I had to go and talk to the Awesome Kielbasa on his YouTube page because he made that video about me, and then I responded, and we kind of came to like an understanding, I guess. And I was trying to, in my video, sort of say, hey, what I was hoping would happen naively, once again, is that he might kind of realize, hey, maybe this is not, I mean, you know, like, this is really shitty of me to do these videos all the time. I don't know why I thought I could maybe reach him that way. Because, like, immediately after we had our discussion, he did, like, 2 more attack videos on people. I was like, all right, whatever. That's what he does. He just attacks people. But I will never understand this obsession that people have on YouTube with just this drama, with just constantly fucking with people. You know, I don't get it. I don't know why you feel
I don't get it.
This high horse mentality of like, my opinions are more important than your opinions, and I'm going to correct you because because we have differences of opinion and we have a different take on it. Then I'm going to basically try to discredit you. It's like, what the fuck is this? Why do we do this to each other?
I think a lot of people do it because they have no self-esteem.
Yeah,
they feel bad about themselves.
Retro bro, you're right. As soon as we finished, he did a fucking attack video on somebody. I was like, one in one ear out the other. You know, it accomplished nothing, but it's fine. I'm not the white knight to save the internet. You know what I mean? I was just trying to reach one person who I thought, this guy's young, seems like a smart guy, seems like he has morals. Maybe I can reach him, but it's more alluring, I guess, to just be.
I think that was the thing. So y'all just kind of hung out and talked and chilled and got y'all stuff to get together. Okay, well.
Yeah, we had because he did that video on me, and then I massively overreacted and did like this. Like,
I had to say, I was watching your video. I shook my head. I just stopped it. I went, I am too tired right now, and I never watched it, all of it. I'm like, oh God, please stop doing this. You're like me. I've done the same thing where I sit there and stew, and I sit there and get pissed off, and I sit there and get mad, and then I was like, instead of putting the fire out, I go pour gas on it while throwing a little napalm on the side. And
I thought, and let me just say this: part of the reason I overreacted is because I thought this was part of that old thing that's gone on with me. And when I started talking to his people, and I went and watched a lot of his videos because I wanted to find out who he was and why he would do this and what he was all about, I started to think, okay, maybe it's not part of that. Maybe he's just like, you know, a young guy trying to do something that he thinks everybody else is doing on YouTube. So then I started to calm down, and I got to a point where I completely let it go in my head, and I was like, all right, so obviously he doesn't even know me at all. He's not trying to, you know, it's just like, this is just what he does. And then, so we had our discussion, and I basically tried everything I could to like make sure we were cool. You know, I addressed it I don't want to say I was being mature, but I was definitely being calm, right? So I addressed it as much that way as I could. And we had our discussion, and at some point in that discussion, I think I was like, I think maybe I was right in the in the beginning that he had attacked me because he had seen the rag stuff and was like, this guy's, you know, fair game for this. But you know what? I was still like, whatever, it's cool, whatever. I'm gonna let this go. It's, you know, it's fine. It was a good experience for me because I needed to have that moment where I let it all go. You know, I let this shit go. Rags has a video where he's lying about me. That's fine. He's never gonna take it down because he's a piece of shit, and he lies about people. And I let that go finally. I was like, you know what? I
really wish YouTube would get some balls and make it to where you cannot take other people's stuff and to make harassment videos on our chat, on our, because, and somebody ever said that, you think about it, you could just say, hey, advertisers, this is what you're allowing people to do, to attack everybody else and to steal their work. Technically fair use, but also YouTube can make your own rules. And they also say you cannot use a clip from somebody else without written or approval, and it must go through YouTube. That you send them a form or request. If you say deny, then you see your videos on there, then you could click that and push to them. They can ban or delete their video or channel. YouTube needs to stand up, and it will end a lot of people's quote career because they have nothing else to do. And if somebody would come after me like that, I would just ignore them and block them and move on.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do from now on. I'm done with all that. I don't want any more of that shit. There's no point in it because it accomplishes nothing. Even when you have a calm, collective, intellectual discussion like I had with him, with the kid, he turned around and just went right back to what he was doing. So it was like, this accomplishes nothing.
He stopped. He knew he can't come after you because you just shut him up.
Well, he could. I mean, if he really wanted.
He could, but he's not going to do it because you stood up to him, and now he knows he can't. He can, but he's just making an idiot of himself, and just let him go.
It doesn't matter. People are going to do what they want to do, and I don't really care that much anymore. I mean, I don't really care about YouTube that much anymore anyway. I mean, you guys know I don't give a shit about. Here's the thing. Let me say this. Here's something else I want to bring up. I've got like 600 and something subs. I don't have 600 and something subs. There's no fucking way. Like, no. I hear from maybe 30, 40 people on a regular basis, right? 600 of these people that are supposedly subbed to me, that number's bullshit. I don't know where that number comes from. I don't know who those fucking who those people are, but subs is just a stupid number that we go by on YouTube as some kind of like this is what validates me. I have subs. I have this number, and that number's horseshit. I don't know, man. I don't trust the way this thing is set up on YouTube. I don't know how it all works, but it's not the way they're telling us it works.
No, and people keep losing subs and shit, and I lost some here and there, and people lost thousands and tens of hundreds of thousands of them. And the thing about this, the algorithm is shit anyway. It will, even if I was sitting there doing 2 to 3 a week, I never get. It just bounces all over the place, and nobody could tell me why. Nobody could tell me, well, you're just not in the algorithm. What am I doing wrong?
I don't think they know. I think
I want to know how some people, and I am not jealous or mean because Spawnwave is a pretty newer YouTuber, and he exploded. Yeah. Now I will say this, and I'm okay with man enough to say it, he's got a personality, a look, and skills at talking. He has a good presentation. He doesn't do anything hateful. He just is not good, and maybe that helps him. But how did you get that quick and get that many? I mean, some people are doing the exact same thing. What makes a difference? And I think I don't know. I don't understand it.
Some of it is, I mean, we know there's some bullshit that goes on, there's some stuff that goes on that the YouTubers are doing, but then, with the bots and with the fake subs and all that kind of stuff. But I think a lot of it's YouTube. I think, a lot of subs I think are not real people. I think there's some horse shit going on with YouTube. I'm not saying that people are seeking it out necessarily. Like, I'm not saying that the YouTubers themselves are going out finding these bots, but I think there's something going on where certain types of content is being boosted by interests outside of YouTube. You know what I'm trying to say?
You could go dunk money in and get places that will push your videos. And that's the sad thing. You could pay for some subscribers. You could pay for better traffic, and maybe some people just pay for better traffic. Yeah. And it's like, that's not right.
Yeah.
And it's not fair to any of us. But, I don't even think we're on the right topics, are we?
No, we're not. We're talking about a bunch of other shit. Let's get to what we came for. So first up, let's talk about our predictions for this fall. Fall is rapidly approaching. There's games coming. There's games not coming. There's systems coming. Where do you want to start? What if you could name your first prediction for the fall as far as video games are concerned? What would you go for? What would you say is your first that you'd like to throw out there?
First big pick or something that's going to explode in the fall. Well, it's a no-brainer, and you would have probably picked it too. Is Mario Odyssey? That thing is going to explode, and Splatoon 2 is doing really well. I like it.
Yeah,
I'm glad I got it. And Switches are out there. Switches hit 5 million. I said 4.7. Trust me, they turned around and sold hundreds of thousands of copies of Splatoon 2 in Japan. It's bigger over there. They've already probably hit 5 million. They could probably, with Mario and other things this year, they could probably hit 9 to 10 million Switches.
Yeah.
And then we got Xenoblade Chronicles 2 coming out for a Switch. We got Sonic Mania, Sonic Forces coming out for a Switch. There's going to be a lot for the Switch. And then, you got the multi-platforms. You got other things that, WWE's coming on the Switch and other stuff like that. So it's going to be a big... Destiny 2 is going to be pretty big. For some people who like it. The Call of Duty World War II is going to be big for those that like it. Man,
we haven't seen anything on that Call of Duty in a while. They've been kind of...
I think it's one of those Call of Duty, we're going to World War II. Everybody, all the fans lose their shit, and they just know they're going to get the money. And it works because they did well in World War II scene, so it's going to do well. What else is coming out? There's another Crackdown 3 is finally coming out, so it's going to be a Windows 10 and Xbox thing that Buddy and I have been thinking about.
Crackdown 3 got a lot of negative publicity lately. A lot of people...
It's just taking too long, and they've changed too much of it. My buddy and I are looking forward to it, no doubt, but shit,
Yeah. The physics is something that people are kind of been critical about, right? Because they had talked all this game about like the power of the cloud and all this kind of bullshit. And it looks like none of that's actually going to make any kind of difference.
Well, supposedly when it was online, their cloud servers were going to do so much processing that, of course, the Xboxes can't, that if you do all this destructive stuff, it's going to have realistic physics. It's going to have stuff collapsing in a specific way. You make a building topple this way, that way. But locally, it can't process that, and I guess it's falling away. Microsoft is going in a weird way. And then, of course, we got the Xbox One X. What is it going to do? We're supposed to be able to pre-buy it here soon. So when is it coming out? November?
October, I think, isn't it?
Oh, it was one of those September or November. Let me see.
It's not September. Maybe it's November. That shows you how interested we are.
November 7th.
Okay, November 7th.
Probably they're going to do it around August or September, then it comes out in November.
What do you think? Is it going to bomb? Is it going to be like...
I think it's going to be a hard sell. They're going to sell an initial amount that's going to make people say, see, it worked. It's good. Well, okay. The fans of Xbox, not saying a fanboy, but their friends all play it, and they're like, I'm ready for an upgrade. Fair enough. You have all your shit on it. Move all your games to your external drive. Go trade in, get a 1X. You're running in 4K, upscale, whatever. And then they play it. Then there are a lot of people are going to walk out there. You're going to have $100-something 1S PS4, $299 Switch, $399 Pro PS4 Pro, and a $499 Xbox One X. People are going to say, okay, what's special? Well, the Switch get all this. Okay, you got Splatoon 2, Breath of the Wild. Well, Breath of the Wild does go to Wii U. Let's say that. But the newer stuff, if you want it portable, Breath of the Wild portable, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Super Mario Odyssey, ARMS, all these things, that's worth a purchase.
Yeah.
PS4 is just it's Sony. They've got Horizon Zero Dawn has been out. They've got all types of stuff like that coming out. But they still got the game shows, Tokyo Game Show and stuff. They still can show off more stuff. God of War is coming out early 2018. So if you buy a PS4 Pro or whatever now, you'll have God of War to roll into like they did earlier this year. And then Microsoft, what do you got? Well, Terry Crews in Crackdown. I mean, I love Terry Crews. I thought it's funny as shit. I saw that. I laughed my ass off and even told my wife, watch this, watch this. And she loves Terry Crews as well. But they don't have much. They have a big, expensive PC wannabe box. And it's not going to do really well past those initial people that really want that upgrade.
Ryan brings up a good point. You know, they keep saying at Microsoft that the Xbox One X is just supposed to be this specialty machine for like the people that demand the best console gaming experience. How smart is it if that actually is their strategy to do this? Like,
how much money did it take to make that custom chip? How much money to order all that custom RAM and all that crap?
Yeah.
And it'll sell okay.
Yeah, I don't get it. Xbox has been falling behind, like, and is actually, I mean, they can't even bring out first-party games. They make statements saying that they're not even really that focused on first-party games and stuff. And I'm like, but they spend millions to research and develop a console that they don't expect to sell well, and it's just for like the elite or whatever, And I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what is their strategy for this holiday season? To sell Xbox One X's to people that already have Xbox Ones? Is that
well, we're going to get the PC fans. They're going to come to this. No.
Yeah, that's going to happen. Yeah.
And I guess I don't always can't pronounce his name, like Fuego, Fuego. He's talking about, did you remember, Foxconn is going to build a plant here in the United States.
Yeah, that's
going to be very strange to see maybe even iPhones and Switches and all this stuff produced here, and maybe alleviate this country's lack and shortage of devices like this.
I wonder what they're really going to do, because I mean, the reason they're in where they're at is because labor is so much cheaper over there, and they're able to produce things at a more affordable price as far as products.
Well, it's just everything. The new iPhones are predicted to be $1,100 out of contract. These things are getting so expensive because the new I went backwards. We swapped to AT&T. I went back to a 6S. I don't want the old stuff, and it may get to the point I look at iPhone and go, I don't want all this horse shit, because you don't have a headphone jack. Fuck you.
I still have the 6 Plus. I still haven't. I haven't.
I got a 6S Plus. I swapped over to it. I got rid of that 7 because it's cheaper when we do AT&T. And it had no headphone jack. It had that button was not really a button. It's just certain stuff you got to have on the phone. But anyway, there are shortages for the iPhone 7.
Yeah.
There were shortages for the Switch. If as much as they may even ship certain stuff over here and just have it as an assembly point.
Yeah.
They may manufacture the core stuff and then piece it together and then roll them out, and boom, they're right here. And just alleviate. Maybe it's to alleviate some of the strain.
Well, speaking of new technologies and things like that, how big a difference do you think the Vega cards are going to be as far as PC gaming, as far as leveling the playing field with NVIDIA?
I haven't even heard of that. I don't even keep up video cards anymore.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't, because when I do my PC gaming, it's 1080p. I'm looking at a 1060. I'm like, I don't even ever care about the Titans or the 1080s but I heard something about AMD bringing out new cards. That's called the Vega cards, you said?
Yeah, they have cards that are priced very well, very reasonably, that can compete with the high-end NVIDIA stuff. These Vega cards, there's like 3 different models, I think, of Vega cards. And so they're actually going to be challenging NVIDIA directly at the high end, not just the mid-tier. So it's interesting to see. I'm just curious what's going to happen as far as the PC gaming market. Will that draw some people who are disappointed in Xbox One X, who are like, this isn't really getting the job done like I thought. I mean, I'm an elitist, I need the best tech or whatever, and this isn't what I was promised. I'm gonna, there's these AMD cards that are more affordable than, at that high end, than what the NVIDIA cards were. You know, I wonder if this is going to affect the continued migration that seems to be happening from a lot of console people over to PC. I don't know. Just curious about it. I got another question for you. Do you think this holiday season could be the death knell for VR?
If VR is not selling well, I actually went to a local because it's a local shop. Somebody traded in a PSVR. If it doesn't sell well, they're probably going to phase it out.
Yeah, I think this holiday is going to make or break it. Right, this is going to be like.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not selling, they're just going to start shuttering it down, make a few more, maybe let it make games for about a year. They probably got stock out there enough to sell, and then just slowly just kind of say, well, it didn't sell well, thank you for trying this technology out, unfortunately the units are not selling well, and just shutter it down. Be done with it. It's just not there. We still are not there. It could be you and I are 60 or 70 years old before technology is to the point that they have this, that they could just create visuals that you need something you just put on your head. No wires, no computers next to you, just pump visuals into your eyes, or frankly directly into your optic nerves or some shit, you know?
Well, I saw, this is kind of fun. I saw there's this new phone coming out that's like super freaking expensive. It's by a company called Red, who makes like cameras, they make the best cameras in the world, like high definition, like Ultra 4K and even 8K and stuff like that. Yeah, right. So this phone they're making is supposed to have this brand new holographic display, which is supposed to be like that shit from fucking Star Wars, where like it appears and like you can see it from every angle. Like you don't have to just be looking at a screen to see it. Like it appears and like everybody can see that shit. So that's to me more interesting than VR, because I like that kind of stuff where you don't have to have some kind of like headset or 3D glasses or fucking shit like that. That's why I like the 3DS, because I was like, it's just 3D, you know. But yeah, this new phone, I don't know why it's going to be in a phone, but this is where they're putting this technology. So I'm very interested to see how it actually looks and works. But super expensive. This is not going to be like a mainstream kind of thing. I mean, but yeah.
And somebody said they think it might work to where it doesn't truly pop off. It could be like the 3DS technology, where it pumps it into your eyes to where it looks like it's there. Which, you think about it, think about all this sci-fi we're out there. You know, do you really need to project stuff, or do you need to project it to where the brain thinks it is?
That's true. That's very true. It's all perception. Yeah,
it's called red hydrogen. That's what the phone's called. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, $1,500 smartphone.
Yeah, strange. But that's not that much more than that new iPhone you're talking about. Shit.
Yeah, they're talking about it's saying $1,100-$1,200 to start out. You know, they think it's just $600-$700 easy for the technology, and it is a lot of technology in these things, but they're
damn,
not
that's
that
a lot.
bad.
Man, when my phone goes out, I'm not getting the newest phone. I'm not
gonna get anything. This isn't on a lease. This is a 6S Plus, and I'm just going to keep using it till it can't work no more. Then I'll figure out something to get. And there's phones on all these carriers. There's Android phones, and I know it's Android, but you could buy brand new Android phones $200 or less, and they're fine for what we need to do. I know it's Android, but you could just buy an old iPhone and keep it running. You know?
Yeah, I don't know.
They've had that SE or something, or 5C or something that, you know, everybody can go to, and we've delved into phone technology now. This is just a ramble of all sorts of shit.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But you know what? We haven't talked in a while, and there's a lot of things that we wanted to bring up and get into, and this is what we do, right? We go from topic to topic and just ramble. So, and you know, hollow pinball would be cool. Yeah, it would be. Like, this goes to my idea that I was going to buy Atari and make like a console and stuff. I was going to do something crazy. Like, I was actually like, wouldn't it be cool to make a game system that doesn't even need a TV? that's like completely outside the box, that does something that's like you're talking about, like holographic shit or something. That's like all like you turn it on and it's just psh, and you're like, wow, this is so different, you know. And it wouldn't compete with like PS4 and all that, because it wouldn't do like Call of Duty and stuff. It wouldn't even do like in my brain, the way I was imagining it. I was like, it's not even going to do like graphics. It's going to do like real like holographic vector graphics or some shit, you know, like something like that.
And also, you know, we got retro stuff we was going to talk about. We're still the Atari box is that big thing. We don't know what's coming out. There's the Poly Mega is still kind of just sitting there, which is that multi-part retro system. And I'm really wondering where, you know, retro's going right now. A lot of it is going I don't know where retro is going. You know,
I know what you mean, because it seems like there's a lot of people trying stuff, which I think is good. You know, it's good to see that this is something that people care about. That there's companies and that there's people out there that are trying to do something retro. That's you know, nothing that I've seen has been perfect, but it's interesting to see they're trying, and in more ways than what we were getting. We were getting this horse shit, you know, the retro VGS shit, but now we're getting like, you know, HDMI Atari 2600, and we're getting the retro what was it, the retro blocks, what do they call it now, the Poly Mega,
and then there was one that Dreamcade, or what was it, Dreamcade is something that RGT85 was doing, and it's a little thing that runs Windows 10, and I really did not want to make videos on it, and did not want to Atari blocks is interesting, Poly Mega is too interesting to me, but putting a little tiny thing that runs Windows 10 and its emulators built on top of it is no different than having a laptop.
Also, there's like Retro Bro and everybody, Eugene and everybody keeps trying to lean everybody into, which is the damn RetroPie thing.
Yeah, and that's a way to go. I mean, it is a way to go, but why make a little tiny box that's Windows based? You don't want Windows. Does it have a antivirus on it? Do you have to do this? How did they get the license for Windows 10? No, we don't want that. I kind of looked at it and just shook my head going, yeah, that's fine.
Man, I can't use my game console. It got a virus. Can you imagine if they had viruses for game consoles? Jesus. That's possible, right? You could have that, right? Jesus. Now that I think about it, it's kind of weird we haven't had viruses on game systems.
Well, the way they do it, they have to take every piece of code that comes into it and approve it. I mean, that's the only way you could do it. It can happen, but it's so rare.
Yeah.
It's hard to do that. That's why everybody says, well, they're so locked down. Well, that's one of the good things. They're locked down. You have to execute the code specifically from Sony, or Sony's approved, or Microsoft approved, Nintendo approved.
Yeah. Well, speaking of retro, I mean, what kind of retro stuff have you been playing lately or been interested in lately? Because I've been really into it. I really haven't been into retro. I think really, truthfully, the Switch is just keeping me entertained with, like, you know, oh, here's Splatoon 2. Holy shit, I'm playing all that stuff. I mean, I'm really looking forward to seeing some retro stuff come out. Like a video game virus. What? I read the chat room. You mean a video game virus for your consoles? But the retro right now is interesting. They're bringing out some HD consoles, and the Super NES Classic, NES Classic has just turned me off to a lot of the retro scene. I'm done with collecting. Sorry. Just tired today. I'd rather have something emulator in a box, but why do you make me go? The pies are fine, but I like what Nintendo's doing. If they'll just put them out, it's just a quick almost instant on device. But I don't know anymore. To me, it's pushed me away from it. And you know,
We have the Atari box. Are they going to be really retro, or are they just being cute and it's actually going to be some type of weird something? Is Polymega going to work? Is Polymega needed? You know, is Polymega what makes it any good? We haven't heard nothing about it. They were changing their name due to all this illegal, not a big fight, but somebody asked them to change the name. That Dreamcade's in trouble with some type of legal claim, and then the Atari box, they're just sitting back, just being, playing X-Files music, going, "Ooh, it's out. The truth is out there. We'll tell you later." I really don't know what to make of the Atari box. It's one of the most interesting things on my list.
That crowdfunding thing kind of ruined it for me. I was like,
yeah,
that was like, what? I thought this was you doing this. Now you're like trying to. I'm like I don't know. It just seems very weird to me. Like, I've been into the real retro consoles a lot lately. Like, so I started thinking about all the RPGs I've missed out on over the years because I just stopped playing them basically. I mean, back after Final Fantasy VII, I think I did a couple more, and then it was like, well, I don't have time for this, so I stopped playing them. And I started thinking about them a lot lately because I bought the Super Famicom, and I bought some Famicom games, and some of them, unfortunately, I got them in I bought what do you call that? Lots. Like you buy, because I wanted 3 or 4 games, but they came with, there's like 10 of them, and it was super cheap to get. It was actually cheaper to get the lot than to buy the ones that I wanted individually.
And those you don't want, just get rid of, resell them somewhere.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I have some of these RPGs, and I was like, they're all in fucking Japanese. And I was like, well, let me see if maybe I can figure something out here. And so I ended up, I can't really play them in Japanese. I'm not going to learn Japanese. The cartridge, the flash cartridge I have, doesn't allow me to patch them directly. So I basically have to play a translated ROM off of a flash cartridge, which I can still do. It's fine. Mm-hmm. It is kind of disappointing that I can't play the real cartridge that way, but it is what it is. But I started playing these games. I started thinking about them, and then I started thinking about PlayStation 1 because there's a bunch of really good RPGs on PS1, and PS1 has native RGB support. So I was like, you know what? Let me get an RGB cable. I have a PS1. I have never fucking plugged it in, but let me get it RGB cable. Fire up this PS1, and I sent off for my favorite PlayStation game of all time.
What is your favorite PlayStation game?
Which is going to sound really weird. Nobody's going to agree with this.
Spyro. It's Spyro, isn't it?
No, it's Ridge Racer, the first Ridge Racer. So I bought it for like $10 off eBay. I got it in and fired it up, and I was like, damn, this looks really good, okay, on the CRT, because it puts out native 240p. It looked really good. But I was like, I wonder how it looks with the PS3, because the PS3 will output to a CRT also through component, but also supports RGB, so I could use the same RGB cable. And I was like, hell yeah, this is going to be awesome. No, it's not awesome because the PS3 only puts out 480i, which doesn't do 240p. And you might be like, well, what's the difference? There's a big fucking difference.
It's scaling it, isn't it? It's messing it up.
Yes. It looks like shit. It looks like, it doesn't look like unbelievably bad, but like if it looks bad. It doesn't look right. Like the worst game that I saw that suffers from this is Metal Gear Solid, because I have Metal Gear Solid as a downloadable game. I don't have the discs for it anymore. And I tried it on my PS3, and Metal Gear Solid does these graphical effects for like certain things that are supposed to be closer to the screen or further away. There's like this weird graphical effect that it does that makes it kind of like vibrate somehow. I don't know. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but like the image kind of does this thing. And on 240p, that looks really cool. But at 480i, it looks like fucking shit. It looks like...
Because the effect is ruined, yeah.
Right. So, I'm playing original PS1 games on my TV, and so I've been looking at RPGs that I never played. I never played Chrono Cross, so I bought Chrono Cross, Xeno Gears. There's several that are cheap. Dude, GameStop sells some of these games fucking cheap. Like, I was surprised how cheap you can get PS1 games from GameStop, and they come like fast if you order them. So that has been what I've been doing, is like I'm not spending a lot of money here, but I'm just kind of experiencing some stuff that I kind of missed, with PS1 and with Super Famicom, Super Nintendo. So this is what I've been focused on as far as retro. These two systems mainly.
Fuego's asking, what about happened to that Sega Forever? Remember that Android app, or that app it's called, that you rent, or not rent, or just kind of like take these games out for a spin or something. And what happened to Sega Forever? I had somebody post in one of my comments about the Atari box that he said it's confirmed that it was Atari and Sega coming together, and I was like, I haven't responded to the comments. I just need to say, where's your can you show me a link?
I haven't heard that at all.
I haven't heard. I think somebody's just trolling, but
I will say that Sega Forever thing, it is out, and it's garbage. Like, the emulation is not good. Basically, you can play all these different games that they give you for free. You just get like ads, or you can pay and take the ads away, and it's cheap. It's very cheap, but the emulation's not good. So it's just a waste of time. It's just whatever.
Yeah, this guy said it's King Mello, and I don't know the guy. It's not calling him out. It was confirmed that Sega and Atari have joined together, and the name of the console will be Atari Genesis. I said, link. Yeah,
that's somebody trolling you, man. That's
it. I'll get W. I'll find it for you. Oh, I hope you will. Mute. Next.
The Atari Genesis, like they would really. No, that's not gonna happen.
I was like, what the fuck?
I could see Atari partnering with Namco or something like that, because a lot of those old Atari games were Namco. They actually were Namco games. I could see something like that, but like Atari with Sega, that doesn't even make sense. Why would they do that?
Yeah, I'm trying to respond and type to some of these people, but I'm like, I don't get it. Yeah, I don't know. Where we're going with the gaming industry is kind of weird. Nintendo is the one that's hitting it out of the park. Yeah. After everybody doomed and gloomed Nintendo, even maybe I did it. So I did do it some. We didn't know what was going to happen, but now everybody's like, oh my god.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Sony's doing okay. It's doing fine. Microsoft is trying to shove a $500 box down everybody's throat, and Nintendo's just knocking games right out of the park.
Yeah, and now you've got all these third parties who were like previously on the fence, who are all saying, "Oh, we're working on Switch stuff now," and Capcom
said, "Oh, we're going to put tons of Switch stuff out now." Ubisoft is supposed to be talking about some new stuff. Another team that makes a lot of conversions and stuff. They've got a AAA game being ported. Hint, hint. And I was like, yeah. I told people this when this fucking shit works.
Well, I'll tell you what convinced a lot of these third-party companies is the attach rate. Like the games, like what's blown a lot of these people away is like, for especially Capcom, is like the Switch version of a game that's also on other systems is selling way more. Like the Switch version, I think it was Street Fighter 2, or what was it? There was something that they had brought out, and they were like, the Switch version was like killing the other the versions on other systems, and it was like, this is what's winning them over. Is they're going, oh, so Switch people buy a shit ton of games. Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, if you want to buy your game and play it on the crapper versus not, or you can. I've told you, the power goes out sometimes.
Yeah.
Guess what? Online, you can't do it. Okay, fine. I'm going to play my game.
Yeah.
You can't do that with any other system. And it's the same game that's on your 50 or 40 or 60-inch TV. It's the full game. It's just in a small screen at 720p. It's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
WWE is coming to the Switch. They have not made one, I think, since the GameCube.
Yeah. That's
think of how
crazy.
long WWE now. Oh, Switch. And there's a lot of wrestlers that love their Switch because they're all the time traveling. So guess what? I knew when John Cena was showing that off that there's WWE's coming back to Nintendo. Why not?
Yeah.
Their game gets to go on the go.
Yeah, I'm
EA needs to put Madden on there. I know for you that Madden fans, I'm not a football fan. They're being stupid. And here with wrestling, and if it does well, that might help the other sports games come out.
Dude, I would love. Oh man, a Madden on Switch would be fucking awesome.
Because you're at work. If you have time in between your stuff, you have your break. Maybe you can set it up on and use your controller. You take your Pro controller, and then you get home or keep playing it, or next day or when you have time, you just keep playing it. So
honestly, that would be the game that I would play my Switch in handheld mode. Because I love playing. I used to play Madden on my PSP while I was laying in bed before I go to sleep. Because I just loved putting on a little football game for a little while, throwing, knocking out, hitting a couple touchdowns, and it was really fun. That was really fun. A Madden on Switch would be the shit. It would be great.
Yeah, they're talking about some stuff. I almost bought that hoary Nintendo Switch. I think I'm just going to have to buy a Pro controller. I do think a lot of the games are really, I don't feel their accuracy. I don't use motion controls in Splatoon, and I'm pretty good.
Well, there's that 8-Bit Dough is putting out those.
I know, but I just don't know if I should wait or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to be good or not. And I could probably go. We've been trading stuff in places. You could go to these local places and trade stuff in. We're trading in old Hallmark ornaments we had, all collectibles. I could trade and get cash and just go out and buy me a fucking Pro controller. I really do hate wanting to hand them $70 for it, but I don't feel like those analog sticks are accurate enough. I'm trying to do some accuracy on them, and they're not there. And I'm doing pretty good on it. So,
the Amiibo thing is something that I've always been opposed to Amiibo until fairly recently, and let me tell you why. So I've always felt like the Amiibo. I'm like, why do I got to buy all these toys? But then I was like, okay, hang on. Let me reframe the Amiibo thing for just a second. Bear with me. You may not agree with me, but at least bear with me for a second.
Did you see my 2 Amiibos I bought with what I did with Zelda?
No, I didn't.
I got them back here. I found the Smash Brothers Link gives you Epona instantly in Breath of the Wild. Oh, I went to board him. Oh, let's let you train your. Oh, you can't name your horse. You can't rename this. This is the horse of legend.
Yeah.
All right, man, that's fine. And then I scanned the wolf link. I found it for $17 locally, and it's usually $30 or $40.
Wow.
I have a wolf following me now.
Okay, let me make my case. Real fast.
Go, run.
So, Amiibos serve more than one purpose, right? Amiibos are little toys. They're little figures, collectible figures, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then they're also DLC for your games, or something to the effect of DLC.
They're talking in the chat that the new Metroid, actually the DLCs are locked to the Amiibos.
Okay. So basically they're DLC, right? Now here's my thing. With the Switch, I have returned to the idea of buying physical instead of digital games. Like, the Switch kind of forced me to do that because I don't want to use up my memory card, my SD card on games that I don't have to, so I buy the physical. And it's gotten me reinvigorated on the idea of physical. So everything I'm buying is physical now if I can.
Yeah.
Amiibos are physical DLC. They're physical DLC that you could resell if you wanted to. So here's the difference. Okay, regular DLC that you buy for a game, even if you buy the physical version of a game, you buy DLC.
Are you sure that you can resell that DLC, or does it lock it to your account? I don't know. I'm just asking.
No, they don't. You can you like Eugene. I got an opponent from him off an amiibo he put on mine, and then on his, and then on Rudy's. Like within.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
Yeah,
I didn't know how it worked.
No, they don't write. They don't. Amiibo isn't. It's like. It's just out. It's for.
No, you can write to them because you can take all the amiibos and store your Splatoon 2 character to them. They do write.
Oh, really?
Yes, I didn't know that. So there's a place in the quad you turn around, you're in this open area. I could take any of them, but I could store my character and come to your house and pop it in there and pop my character locally. So yes, they're NFC writable. I didn't know that.
Okay. Well, okay. So assuming that they're not going to have some amiibo that get locked somehow because of that, then I think this is a really good way to do DLC because of it serving multiple purposes. Because like I said, it is a collectible figure. It's also DLC, and then you can share it with other people. So like one person buys the DLC and they can let other people use it, and then you could resell it later. So you have this.
But there's only one problem with that. It's when they won't make enough of them, and that DLC is. If it's a DLC one, they should never run out.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with that. That's
the only problem I see with it.
Right. I'm just saying normal DLC, you buy it and then that's it. You can't do anything else with it other than just use it for you. But these have more uses. So, I mean, the kids can play with it, or you can let other people borrow it, or you could resell it. So to me, there's advantages there. Yes, it's hard to find sometimes, but at least I think it's an interesting way of thinking about DLC. And I had never thought about this until that incident, like I said, where I borrowed Eugene's little figure and got a Epona. And I was like, oh, shit. I didn't even have to pay for this. I was like, all right, that's kind of cool.
Right, but I'm wondering, though, the ones they're talking about for Metroid, it could be a one-time redeemable code. It could basically be a code that scans once, then you pick my account, your account, and then you redeem it to the store, then it is unsellable.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
The amiibo sellable, but the DLC isn't. That will suck.
If that's the case, that would suck. I don't know. I'd have to do some more research on this, but I've never heard of anybody not being like an amiibo basically locking itself to your account or your Switch or whatever. So I don't know. But no, I understand, Ryan, like Nintendo does their things their own way, and it's not like what other people do, and it does feel like when Nintendo does something, we all just have to go along or just ignore. Like, these are your two options with Nintendo. You can either deal with what they're doing, or you can just not, fuck with Nintendo. And personally, I love Nintendo games too much to ignore them, so I go along. But I'll tell you what, my change in attitude towards amiibos is not just because I have a Switch. It's because I've experienced this, and I was like, that's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. So. And, going back to just talking about how Nintendo's doing, there's a Pokemon game coming sometime. There's all these other games coming. There's Metroid Pit, Yoshi, and what is that other one? There's a Yoshi game coming out. There's Kirby game coming out. What if they start announcing other games? They don't have to do stuff around E3 and then they say, oh, we got a new Mario Maker 2 and we're going to do everything you wanted with Mario 2 and everything. Here's the Switch where everyone's like, oh my God, this will be awesome. And it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think the Switch is a lot of fun, and I'm glad that it's doing well. And the 3DS will not die for some reason. People keep buying the shit out of it.
I think it's going to die here soon enough because developers are going to be like, they're going to make more money on the Switch. I mean, you could do more on the Switch. It's infinitely more powerful. It's just a huge step up from that little. But what's in the 3DS is not that fancy. It's not fancy at all.
Yeah.
So the Switch is, not a 8th gen console like per se like the other ones, but holy crap, I think it's going to die. It's got to die off. They just need to merge everything to one thing. Or, like I said, when it gets going well, just make a Switch Mini.
Yeah, that'll Switch Mini, that's coming. You know it's coming.
Drop everything. I've actually seen docks yesterday. I was in GameStop. I saw docks and all types of stuff. The Hori controller, the Pro controller, everything's out there. Even used Joy-Cons in GameStop. So you take a dock out, you take this out, you take the detachable abilities out of them. You maybe just say put a real D-pad on it, keep the NFC and the rumble. Shit. You may even keep the same screen size. Make it just a Switch Portable or a Switch, Switch Lite, where it just same size, it does it and reduce a lot of the cost.
Yeah.
Okay, $199, $179, $189. Holy fuck. There you go. And maybe you could make it maybe it's not dockable, but you could prop it up and use a Pro controller. You could still Bluetooth the controllers to it, you know.
Or what if they put out one of those little dongle things like the Google has, and you just plug that into your HDMI on your TV, and then the Switch just sends.
You mean like that old? Remember the old Geno rumor back from the day that it was a dongle?
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool.
They may not lock it down from not doing it in there, but then again, it can save them money if that chip is only made for 720p. Portable mode. It could save them money.
Yeah.
So it's have better battery life. I don't know. It's all types of stuff.
We need to kind of wrap things up here.
Yeah, because you got to go to work, don't you?
Unfortunately, yes. If you had to, let me just ask you this last question.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking about this fall and what's going to happen this fall, at the end of the fall, at the end of the Christmas season, going into next year, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you could think of one surprise, one unexpected shocker, something that could have occurred during this season, something that seems like it might. Like you could imagine, oh shit, what if this happened? What if that happened? If you could think of something from any of these companies, or maybe even somebody that we're not even really thinking about, what prediction would you like to make? Like what crazy what if scenario can you think of?
Well, one of the craziest is people are saying, what if the Atari box truly is going to be a competitor? Maybe not, and they come out and just have all this ability, and then offer people a cheap 8th generation console. And then Microsoft is floundering, and they say, you know what, we can do that. And they have all the people signed up. They can play the PC, a port of the PC, or even the PC. I don't know. That the Atari box could upset some. The other thing, other than that, I don't really. Other than maybe Sony announcing them moving forward from the Pro. That's the only two things I can think of. The Nintendo, they're still getting to 10 million.
Yeah.
They are setting pretty. They're making money like crazy. Sony would have to do something, or somebody else have to do something, because Microsoft has already played. They've already slapped their cards on the table. They're waiting to see if they won the hand, so to speak, in poker. They're not doing anything else. They got their else. Their else is that $500 monstrosity. And you're going to hope to God it sells. Those are the two things I can see. What about you?
Well, I actually I got to give Rambo's Corner. He's a guy that I talked to, and I've been on their show, the Game Talk with them. Rambo had a really interesting idea, and this is not my idea. It's his idea. He thinks it's very possible that Sony might be getting ready to include their streaming service, that PS Now service, as part of PS Plus.
Yeah, that'll work. And then, then everybody's like, oh shit, I don't use but I can just go over here and re-up that and get the free games and stream the old games. Whoa, fuck balls. Because we don't still know what we're going to get. Oh, the other surprise is, what would Nintendo finally lay out for we've got, it's August. I forgot that. It is August. They've got to say something about October or November if they're going, because it's 2018.
What is
Nintendo, you want my goddamn money, you better make those Splatoon 2 servers stay up. They kept disconnecting me last night in the Splatfest, fuckers.
What is Nintendo's plan for Virtual Console? What are they doing? What
about the Nintendo games that allow you to play online? Hey, Cyrus, you want to play Contra? Fuck yeah. And I want those. Where are they at? Let's play Turtles in Time. Fuck yeah. Let's play Final Fight or one of those. Yes. Where are they at? Well, how Reggie said, we know there's an appetite for it. I hate your VR speak. Reggie, just shut the fuck up. Where is it at?
Well,
I'll tell you why they're still not doing it, and I'm afraid that the Super NES Classic is going to push back Virtual Console.
Yeah, dude, that's a very strong possibility, actually. And Ryan says they'd have to get the chat working for that. Like, oh, let me get my phone, and hopefully nobody calls me in the middle of our chat.
That fucking app sucks dick. I used it once. I hate it. I hate the damn thing.
I'm not even using it.
You flip away from it. Oh, you come out of you stop being in the same thing. Oh, you can't talk. You know what we use? Discord. Then we can play. Then we find this is what's boggling with Nintendo. As good as the games are, they make it to where you can't play together in Splatoon 2 easily.
Yeah.
They don't understand this. It's got to be all fair. Go in a pickup group and go blind into multiplayer. That's the only way to play. No, Nintendo. People want to play with their friends. And Salmon Run is the co-op mode in there. It's like horde mode. It's fantastic. They limit it. They close it down at certain times.
I don't know, man.
They do great stuff at the same. They're bipolar, and I don't mean it's all anybody that's bipolar. They're bipolar. They could do something good at one time and flip flop and do something stupid.
Nintendo. Live by the Nintendo, we die by the Nintendo, right? I don't know. Whatever. All right, let's wrap this up. Again, I mentioned during the opening of the show, this will be the last show we do for a little while. We've got to try to. Unfortunately, work is going to be a problem. I'm working pretty much every day, and so we're going to do more shows, but I'm not sure when yet. So we'll keep everybody informed on Twitter and go from there. But we're going to do separate things. Obviously, you're going to do your videos on your channel. I'm going to still do some things, but it'll be at weird times in the middle of the night or weird shit, random times whenever I can. Yeah.
I'm going to try to start knocking some videos out, some ideas. If it is something simple, it's something simple. Just been tired and busy, but switching from being really slow and not doing anything to busy is just like, oh shit, I got to learn some new stuff. So
yeah, but Pico Gamer and I, obviously, we're still, we get along great. We're still buds. We're not. This isn't like the Beatles breaking up. It's just, unfortunately, for a while we're gonna have to not do this show. It's just, it is what it is. I won't be doing any regular shows for a while. If I do anything, like I said, it'll just be random fucking middle of the night shit or whatever. But I really appreciate everybody hanging and coming to the chat and sharing your ideas and your opinions with us. And
it's fun. We're going to be a little hiatus here, but work is work, and we're going to get to do some. I'm going to be putting some videos out. I'm thinking it's going to start looking in. Super NES Classic, pre-orders go up this month. We'll have a lot of shit to talk about there. Hopefully, I get one. If I don't, whatever.
Yeah,
I might see if you or Eugene find one, if y'all buy it for me and ship it, I'll pay you or something. It may have. If I don't get one, oh well, shit happens. I don't care. Yeah. I'm not going to fight for it. I want one because it would be great to put a wireless 8-bit DO controller on top of it and sit back and have the Super ES with pretty much lag free on HD. And people are going to sideload it. They're going to sideload the fuck out of that bitch.
Yeah.
And put some really good games on it. Turtles in Time. But. So I guess you got to get out here for work. So
yeah. Guys, thank you again for coming. Make sure you go to Pickyo Gamer's channel and check out the stuff he's doing. We'll
geeky.com and everything like that.
Yeah. We'll keep doing stuff, and we'll follow us on Twitter. That's where you'll find out what we're doing. So for now, I gotta go. I really appreciate it, guys. I'm Cyrus.
I'm Pickyo Gamer,
and we'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.
Right, bye.